The City of Des Moines Parks and Recreation takes its responsibilities to heart. We've looked at all the different declarations that have come down through the mayor, the governor, and even the president. We've also used the CDC guidelines for large gatherings and festivals and events. We sat down with our team right away and we said, anything that's going to be above 10 people has to start to be canceled, postponed, or rescheduled. So we started there. We wanted to make sure everybody understands that the public safety becomes number one, and always does, as well as our staff safety. So the first things we did were we canceled large events, and I'll break it down into the groups of things that we've canceled. So first and foremost, our sports complexes are canceled until May 11th. Those lend themselves to large gathering spaces that we just can't control how many people come and visit those folks. Next, we canceled all trail permits for large events like fundraising events on our trails. That does not mean the trails are closed for public use. If you go out and you use the trails, we want you to use the trails. But keep in mind the CDC's great guidelines of the 6-foot social spacing, making sure you're washing your hands before you go out and use these trails, and making sure you just, if you have any exposure to anything, not to use our parks and trails. You will notice that the public restrooms and parks and trails facilities are closed, and that's by design to keep the public safe as well. We just can't keep up with the load in making sure our staff has enough time and resource to sanitize after each operation that happens in a restroom. So we will be closing those down to make sure we can keep up with that, as well as it's hard to keep up with the supply and demand for those type of resources, toilet paper, sanitizing chemicals. We want to make sure those are available to the public for their own personal home use. We don't want to further complicate the access to those type of materials, so restrooms are closed until 5/11. Next, we looked at our enclosed shelters, and unfortunately, we understand people had life events like wedding celebrations and baby showers and family reunions, but again, there's no way to control those to keep them safe for the public. All events have been canceled. Those facilities are closed, and they're getting a deep cleaning as we speak. Also, open air shelters, those folks are also been canceled. All those life events have been canceled, again, not because the city wanted to be punitive. We need to take appropriate steps to ensure safety. Next, all of our recreation community centers are canceled. 4 Mile Community Recreation Center, Pioneer Columbus Community Recreation Center, and the Martin Luther King Jr. facility are all canceled. We have a mix of folks that use that throughout the day. We have senior low-income senior meal sites there. We have youth and adults there. It wasn't appropriate or even safe for us to keep those open. Those will be canceled and closed until May 11th. Any recreation program that was scheduled or in progress have all been canceled. There's just no good way to reschedule those, because the next round of events and programs are going to start here with swimming lessons and soccer, and all those things will come right behind them. There's just no space in the gyms to keep that overlap. So everybody's been notified, whether you signed up on our active email list or you've used social media, or we actually are calling you as individuals as well. You will get all your money back. We'll make arrangements, but everything that we do for large gatherings has been canceled through May 11th. All of these dates come to May 11th, the 8-week standards that have been put out by the declarations. If that gets reviewed and it gets opened up earlier, we'll reassess. It also could be quite possible that that gets extended. We're working with everybody. One of the things I think is great about our city is that we are going to refund everybody's money 100%, no administrative fees. So you will get your money back in about 2 weeks or less, hopefully. We want to thank the public for their patience during this tough time. We know that everybody is just wanting to get back to their normal lives, especially when it comes to recreation. Whether you participate in one of our softball leagues, going to Captain Roy's on our trails, understand that we wanted to open them just as badly as you wanted to open them. So please respect the rules and help us protect your safety while we follow through this declaration of keeping our public facilities closed through 5/11 for large gatherings.